Scar made this beat.
Hello, Alaisa.
Hello.
Can you give us a basic introduction of yours?
Okay, so my name is Alaisa de Burma. I am currently doing BSc here in Wilson College.
So, what made you come to Mumbai?
Basically, it was my father's posting. The main reason he's in army and he got his posting here. Since a younger age, I haven't really stayed with my father since he's in army. Like he's always moving around, and we prefer to stay in one place. So like now I was grown up, and even my brother's like quite grown up. So we decided to come here together.
So, tell us about your hobbies. What do you like to do most?
I can do like a lot of things. I love to paint, I love writing stories, I love writing poems, I love to cook, bake, and I also do make vlogs. So like when we came out from the airport and all the city lights, the cars, everything amazed me. Literally everything. The main thing were the buildings. They were like so huge. Like when I have to look at the buildings, I have to literally go up like this. I was like, wow. So I think those were the things which was like really fascinating for me for the first few months.
Any incident that curbed this fascination and gave you a reality check?
Okay, now this takes me back to like one incident which was like very heartbreaking for me. So we had a fest in college and I was part of a group. So in my group, many of the people who were there in the group, they were all like Marathi speaking people. What happened, the head of the group, while talking, I mean like not talking, but like telling the group that this is the work done and everything. So she kept on talking in Marathi. And like she knew I cannot understand a single thing about Marathi, but still she kept on talking in Marathi, and that time I really felt left out. Like everyone were in the group were like understanding what she's telling, and they were like ho ho ha, ho ho, and you know like maza whatever, you know, they were like saying in Marathi, and they were all like interacting in Marathi. And I was just there sitting in the corner quietly, not knowing a single thing she was talking about.
So, this feeling of being left out, did it made you seek a place where you could find your own native people?
Okay, so we actually have a group or like a collective called NEC. The full form is Northeast Collective in our college. So this is basically for everyone who belongs from the Northeastern state.
How did you join Northeast Collective Club?
Okay, so now this has like a really funny story to it. So like when you're far from home, you kind of tend to look for people who look like you, like people who remind you of how it was back home. So that's how I met Coop. He's always there sitting near the tree, you know, like I did see him like 2-3 times before I went and I talked to him. So that's how I came to know about NEC. And like I was added to the group and I met all the other members, and that's how NEC happened to me.
Can you tell us who all are the core committee members of the Northeast Collective?
Okay, so the core committee consists of Lian as the president, Darsh as the vice president, me as the secretary, Siksha as our joint secretary, Coop as the finance head, Soumyadeep as our creative head, Priyanka as our promotion and PR head, and Bimal as our state representative of Manipur.
Okay, so the discriminatory experiences you faced, have you discussed it with the other members?
Yeah, in fact, we all have.
Many times this happened to me when people ask me, oh, where are you from? So I tell them that I'm from Tripura. They will ask that, oh, this is in Karnataka, right? So I'm like, no, this is in Northeast.
Yeah, that's what, like whenever when people ask me where I'm from, I tell them I'm from Assam. They are like, where? They don't even know where Assam is. So when I say Northeast, then only they understand that I'm from Northeast.
So they will ask you then, which state is it in? It's a state, it's called Tripura.
Okay, so I am from Manipur, Senapati district, right?
So when I tell people that I come from Manipur, they go like,
Manipur kaha se hai? Hey, is it Manipur kaha se hai?
oh, Manipur, isn't that in Nepal?
No, it is. Yeah, India ka left wala na. India met par left wala. He was like,
Even if I don't tell them I'm from Manipur, they will ask, "Oh, are you from Nepal? Which country are you from?
They, instead of knowing Northeast, they know Nepal more.
Are you a foreigner?"
So they say, "Are you from Nepal?" as the way to start conversations.
Naga pata hai, Nagaland pata hai? And he was like, yes, Nagaland pata hai, Assam, Nagaland na hai.
They don't even know like Manipur exists.
Manipur to Nagaland ka andar mein hai na, like below. It's supposed to say it's so funny. I told him that, yeah, and he was like, so like.
And the usual stereotype that goes is people often confuse Manipur to be a really rural place, a village and stuff. And since we've moved to the city, they assume us to be a bit behind on the trends.
Oh, you're academically or intellectually backwards.
So when people have branded stuff or like up their fashion, they think it's a new thing for us when it's been a bit prominent in our side.
I had this incident once. It was with someone in my class, and he was like, "Oh, before I met you, I thought everyone in the Northeast was stupid or dumb or, you know, not very academic, stuff like that." And I was like, fuck off, man.
So I think it's more on the development side that people often misunderstand how Manipur is and how the state is built. Yeah.
I think people don't really see people with features like mine, you know, like
they think that if you are from if you have Chinese eyes, if you have short eyes,
chinky eyes and stuff. So like
छोटे eyes अगर आपके है तो they think that you are from Northeast only. You are the Chinese people.
I guess they want some special facial features to be in a northeastern people, you know, and just because they think that I don't have that, they are like, you don't belong from Northeast.
Since I'm Northeast Indian and also a woman, what the stereotype that goes around is that I'm some kind of like a sex worker or like ultimately a more promiscuous person. So a lot of sexual advances are also made towards me, and it's very uncomfortable.
So it's very humiliating sometimes.
I do get a lot of stares, like if I step out from my house.
The classic Indian stare.
People like around me, all the shopkeepers on the line.
People would be like just turning and looking at me like.
They were looking at me like I'm an alien in the street. Like I'm an alien in the street, right? It made me feel so insecure.
You know those stares, so I make sure I give them a good show.
Nice. And any linguistic stereotype you might have come across?
Like a lot of people look at me and they assume that I don't understand the local language like Hindi or Marathi, and they'll talk about me when I'm in the room or in the same space, and they'll think that I don't understand what they are talking about.
कोई शक या सवाल आपको इस बात में कि मुझे हिंदी नहीं आती है?
I was in a taxi. I told him, take me to this place. Like someone told me a place. I forgot. Okay, I forgot. I sat in the taxi and he was like, Ching Chong Pang. Right? He said Ching Chong Pang. I said, I'm from India, dude. All right. I don't know Hindi so good, but like.
इतनी तो आती है कि मैं चला लूँ अपना जिंदगी यहाँ मुंबई में. इतनी हिंदी है अच्छी मेरी.
Also, any slangs or slurs you might have encountered?
Any slangs? Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Mumbai and I always have been looking like this. So even as I was growing up, I've heard a lot of slangs and everything.
I think I have, but I don't know them. So since they say it in Hindi, I actually don't notice that they're saying slangs to me.
First, it used to be the typical ones, just like the Chinese or Chings or like.
Either Chinky or Chinese.
Chinky, you know, Chinese or something.
They use it around casually, like, oh hey, Chinky, stuff like that, you know.
They talk in gibberish to try to mock the language or something like that.
Or even though I am Nepali, they call me a Nepali as if it's a bad word.
And I try to correct them, and they're like, yeah, but it's not that serious. I'm not racist. I'm just joking.
I think last week, no, it wasn't Colaba. I visited the Malhar Fest.
One time I went to visit St. Xavier Church Gate.
And I was walking on the road.
And I came across a street.
And it was the time the school students finished their school, so they were walking back home.
And there was this group of drunk people. Maybe they were drunk, I don't know, they were like so thugs, right? They were like thugs, like.
And like I didn't hear it properly, but some school students were like mocking me and like calling me names.
They came around and they were looking at me and they were like, Chinkies, right?
But they were making a joke about it, but I think they didn't understand how offensive it was to me.
They said Chinky. I was like, should I retort back or should I just keep quiet, right? I was like, no, fine, control. But you are new to the city, so just control your emotions, keep quiet. I just ignored them. I completely walked off.
To some extent, so I just casually passed it on, but it was pretty offensive to me.
Most people, they assume I'm a foreigner. So, for example, if I'm taking a cab, they always try to like charge me more. So I always like, even though I know now that I am slightly more experienced, I know like the routes and how much the fare should be. But then they always like ask maybe 2 to 3 times more, just like upfront, because they think I'm a foreigner and stuff like that.
During my class 12 board exam, I think, on my way back from after giving the exam,
I was walking. I don't like to disclose the place, but I was walking, and then some kids were playing.
It was during the COVID, when COVID started cases started to increase. So like when I was going back home with my friends.
And then for some reason they started throwing stones or something. It didn't hit me, but it just came towards me, so I just saw it and it just...
Some uncles on the side of the street were like, go Corona or something, but I didn't mind it because it's like, I'm really open-minded to it. I know they're racist, but I'm not really offended much by it. But I know it's like racially pointed towards us, but I find it offended. I'm offended, but not really like angry offended. Like I know I'm open-minded towards it. They're racist and all.
We didn't want the students who came here far from home to feel left out, like they have no one they could rely on. So that was one reason why we hosted the freshers. We didn't want them to feel left out. We wanted them to know that we are here for them. Also, we really wanted to meet the new members of our NEC and like have some amazing time together, get to know each other and make some amazing memories together with them. And honestly saying, we actually don't know how it's gonna happen, the freshers. We just know it's gonna happen. It's just a mess. It's so chaotic. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I just hope it happens well. That's all. And also the funny thing is, even while organizing this event, we came across a very ignorant, stereotypical attitude.
We wanted the JC people, the junior college people who are from Northeast. We wanted that list. So we went to some teacher and...
One of the teachers, she showed us her register and she told us...
And she was like...
Just see the names which you think are from your place.
नाम देख के तुम्हें क्या लग रहा है इसमें से कौन नॉर्थ से है तुम ले लो उसका नाम.
And that was quite odd because we cannot judge someone by their name or surname.
I guess they think we have some special type of name.
Like many people have the surname Biswas from West Bengal as well.
You are a Bengali. How can you be from Northeast? How can be Northeast your home?
So that was something which was quite racial, which we faced, and that too coming from a teacher. So that was quite disappointing for us.
And also with the rise of music in the sense of K-pop and stuff, there comes the association with the Koreans, so like...
I stayed in the hostel for our FY final exams, and me and a bunch of other guys. So like this one guy, he just came to my room knocking at night. He was like, Bimal, can you like FaceTime my sister, please? I was like, yeah, okay, sure, but why? And he went like, oh, because she loves K-pop and she would love to see you.
One time I was like quite annoyed about all the situation, and this one time this girl came to me in LCR. She asked me, "You're so pretty. Where are you from?" And I'm like, at first I was like, "Thank you so much for calling me, pretty and everything." So I was like, "I'm from Northeast," and she's like, "Where is that?" I'm like, "It's a place in South Korea." And she was like, "Really? Why did you come here? People go to South Korea. How come you came here in Mumbai?"
He looked so happy. I didn't want to like refuse and go like oh, that's racist. You can't do that and go off like that. So I just played along. So hi, sarange.
Wow, I really want to visit your hometown. Please take me with you. And I'm like, sure, I'll tell you when I go home. We can go together that time. Do you have a visa? And she's like, no, I don't. And like, it's okay, just make a passport first. We can talk about the visa later on.
And you know what? The sister had the audacity to say like, oh, but this guy's not that pale.
That's how crazy people are. And the fact they actually believe me when I say I'm from South Korea. Great.
How do you mentally cope up with such situations?
Somehow when things keep on happening to you again and again, you kind of get immune to it. So like, and also like at times will happen, you can't avoid everything. So no matter how much you try, some things just end up bothering you. So that time what I do is like, I go to Marine Drive. I just find it very peaceful that time, like me and my thoughts alone. Everything makes sense that time when I'm walking the Marine Drive.
So finally, I want to ask, do you guys think that coming together as a committee has influenced you and even the new students for the better? Made you all feel like home?
Lakivani aina ngasi thamoina panguvagi thamoina panguvadi ifamdagi mangjavani chahi ani faradlavani ngasidi ai nana aigi ifamdagi lakivadi karamna hinlivano thaplaba miramduda karigi hangaklino bidai piramlaga chiklava ahin kayada sakhiba nungshi wari dudi ai kawdileke aina ngasi su thamoida nikshingli ai matangi wari na yokliba thawai aigi mathongda nokni haina nungshidi nungai khande thazaba puma mangan khibani aina matamduda nungaina leirambi nusa ama oirambani otpi khibani aina matamduda leptana aduga karamnadi nungshigani amukhana karigi yadrivano apangba thamoi nangdi lakdaroi